Mr. Cain, violence is an important part of American letters. Perhaps it's an indispensable part of drama, and the novelist, if it has any drama in it, must have it. But American letters particularly seem to abound in it. You have made comments about violence in the nation and in novels. You told somebody once you thought that this country was the worst violent nation in the history of man.
That's right. I think it is.
What is that the reason then that there's so much violence in novels from Mark Twain?
Well, I think novels reflect the life that goes on around the writer, and if novels are violent, America is violent. But I am much upset over this recent effort to indict TV as being responsible for violence on account of the violence in TV shows. As a matter of fact, what is called violence on TV, I think strikes even the kids as rather ridiculous, because it's really an exercise in acrobatics. It has been stereotyped to the point where you know when the fellow heaves the first bottle in the saloon fight that the fellow's going to go skating across the table on his stomach and land in some kind of comedy fall in the lap of the fat woman, and or it's out on the balcony and you know he's going to crash through the railing and go down, presumably to the street, but all the kids know he's falling into a net. And this is just a kind of stock pretense of violence, but it's been going on a long time. When I was growing up, boys were taken out back of the woodshed for reading dime novels.
One critic said of you that you had fixed forever the squalid edges of the American dream. Did you have that in mind when you wrote them?
No, I have no such. I get credit for more of the weirdest intentions. All I try to do in the setting of a novel and the background of it is to make it right. I mean, if a woman is running a restaurant in California, as Mildred Pierce was, I like to get the restaurant background right so that it is a real restaurant, that you can believe it, and she has typical restaurant problems. But to show it up, to take any position about it, I have no interest in that, whatever, and have never tried. I read something about myself recently that I had been the historian of the sleazy, claptrap California of the 1930s. If so, I had no such intention.
No,
I didn't think it was claptrap at all. I liked it.
Well, tell me, not many, but I think of two novelists now who are turning to Journalistic writing, and there may be more, but Truman Capote has done so, Norman Mailer has done so. What would be the reason for that now? Why does it herald a decline of the novel, or?
I don't know. I think Capote was just fascinated with the senselessness of that carnage out there in that thing he wrote out. There's a beautiful, beautiful thing that In Cold Blood that he did. And Mailer, I don't understand Mailer at all. He writes pretty well, you know. This is it is very vivid. You could even say livid writing in spots, and I can't, of course with Mailer, a lot of it is just personal conviction.
I understand that teenagers visit you in your house in Hyattsville to talk about your writing. Now, is there something about your writing that appeals to them particularly, or is this teenagers who want to embark on a career?
So. I think they're mostly college students that have been assigned a project, and they hear I'm living there, and they think, well, they can come, and I must say they're a very inattentive bunch. They pretend to be interested, and what they want is material for a paper, and that's all they want. I don't think most of them know much about Cain or much care. They're pretty, and I enjoy their visit, and
what do you think of young people today, Mr. Cain?
I don't see a difference, and I've talked to them. They come in with whiskers on, and I try to get out of them just what the difference between them at their age is between what they are and what I was, and I don't see much difference, because you have to realize that anybody 18 years old is fairly cuckoo. Just because he's 18 years old, he doesn't need any movement or something like that. He's just born that way, and he's going to be. And when he gets to be 22, suddenly he's going to snap out of it, and that's that. And I think that this Vietnam War has set up a situation that is very dreadful, and Nixon pretending that this great silent majority is in his favor. That's true. The great silent majority of people that don't have to fight are on his side. The kids, he better not be kidding himself.
Some have suggested that when and if the Vietnam War is wrapped up and out of the way, that young people might take up as a crusade the pollution of the atmosphere and waters, the environment pollution, and continue to agitate. Do you think that's possible?
It doesn't sound to me like anything that they would get much excited about.
You spent 17 years in Hollywood writing movies, and you made a lot of money at it. Why did you decide to leave that and come back to live here in Maryland?
I had researches I was doing in the Library of Congress, and when I got done with the researches, my wife said, "Have you been keeping track what's happened to Hollywood?" I said, "Well, in a general way, but what do you mean?" She says, "Well, it's not there anymore. It has folded. TV has put it out of business, and I don't know what you're going back to. And if you want to write novels, I think you'd be better off writing them where you're not tempted to have anything to do with picture business, the picture business at all." So we stayed here. We had got this little makeshift house out there, and I'm still in it.
I understand you have no use either for liquor or smoking cigarettes.
I used to be a 3-pack a day on cigarettes, and when Bob Rathbone, my doctor, suggested that it'd be a good idea to stop, and he explained to me why.
But this was 28 years ago. Right?
Well, this was in 1941. This was, yeah, something like that. And I remember squashing out my cigarette on his mean little ashtray. He didn't have a nice big ashtray like that. It was a miserable little thing with a mermaid on it, a china ashtray. And he didn't particularly want to be very hospitable about cigarettes. I thought, well, this ought to be your last cigarette. I wonder if it will be. Well, it was. And then later, I was a sundowner, but quite a healthy imbiber of alcoholic liquor, and I stopped that too. So now I don't either smoke or drink.
Do you think young people today who tend to experiment with drugs will outgrow that also, the habit of ingesting foreign substances into the body?
I don't know. I don't understand this marijuana thing because it is befuddled and complicated by this fiendish and silly law that we've passed. Maybe marijuana is somewhat harmful. I cannot believe it's anything like as harmful as alcohol, and I can't believe it's anything like as harmful to health as cigarettes. But kicking cigarettes and kicking liquor are two different psychological problems, and the whole human race and the whole animal kingdom is born with a natural love for alcohol. Let's face it. The man who likes alcohol too much is not sick, and he's not abnormal. He likes it a little better than is good for him to like. All of us like it. Nobody was born liking a cigarette. You got to learn to like it. Your first cigarette, if you're not just so sick that you can't stand up straight, you're not normal. You are sick. You have to learn this habit. Now the question is, why do people smoke? And my feeling is that they smoke histrionically, that the cigarette permits them to assume a character, that an imaginary role that is pleasing to them. But here's what complicates the thing. I think that the picture the cigarette smoker has of himself is of one slightly perdu, a little bit a lost soul. He's very sophisticated. Now then, so you say, well, hey, that'll kill you. That doesn't stop him, and that kind of makes it even more interesting.
One last question, Mr. Cain. Are you, from a literary standpoint, are you working on any project right now?
I'm on a book. All books that I write almost drive me to suicide, and this is no exception. So tomorrow I will start what I hope to be the final on a book I've been working at for all this year. and I've written so many drafts of it, I would be embarrassed to tell how many starts I made on it.
Well, we'll be looking forward to it, and it's a real pleasure talking with you.